We interrupt your normal, scheduled programming for this important update. Holy numbnuts, look who is back. Derek Lester, Michigan's statewide court jester.
Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, I have an announcement to make. Did you know that the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus is going to be back in action after that little hiatus? But that's not what I'm really here to talk about. I'm here to talk about another thing that's related to the circus. This guy is Michigan's state court jester. Yes, Derek Lester. He's back in court in Michigan, and man, is it a doozy. Here we go. You remember this from my last clip. If you didn't see it, go back and check out my last video on Mr. Lester. Yeah, this guy's a real dump truck.
Derek! Yo, when you were born and the doctor saw your head, he was so scared he smacked your mother instead. Yo, when you were born and the doctor saw your head, he was so scared he smacked your mother instead. Derek! Yo, when you were
Ladies and gentlemen, up there in your right corner, ring number 3 is Derek Lester. A couple questions I'm going to answer here. I don't know if I can answer them, but a couple people sent me some comments asking me, number one is, why is this guy on here this whole time? I don't know. Some judges have the ability to take them off Zoom. I don't know why he remains on here, but I'm going to cut this short. I mean, he's on here for a long time, and I had to watch all of it. Let me tell you something. It gets better as we go. So I'm going to fast forward through a lot of this, but I tried to do that when I was watching it, but it's just not possible because this guy makes all kinds of comments and stuff. And I don't know why this judge doesn't hold him in contempt, but, you know, I don't know. Anyway, here we go.
I spoke to Mr. Lee. He had actually spoken to an attorney prior to court, discussed his case with them, and I have offered an impaired driving, and I believe he wishes to.
So Mr. Oh man, I'll tell you what, Derek Lester is an entertaining one. You see all the movement he's doing up there in his little box there, his little window. Anyway, you know, he's driving during this whole time while she's conducting court. This guy's driving. That's why you're getting all the interference. And someone else asked me, what's up with the world symbol? I don't know. I guess it's Derek's world. I don't know. But man, Derek's world, to me, it's a target-rich environment, man. This guy gives new meaning to the word clown. Yeah, and another thing, the attorney that he's got, the public pretender, actually, this is a good attorney, Mr. Grego. I did send him an email. Someone asked me to send him an email. I did. I haven't heard anything back, but I only sent it a day ago, and it is the weekend. So let's see if he gets back to me. But you know what this guy goes through with this clown. I mean, watch his expressions, man. Watch the attorney's expressions and look at how he's looking at this whole time. I mean, this is the second time he's sat through Mr. Lester's bullshit, and here we go again. I mean, it's just I mean, I just don't know why the judge doesn't either you know, just take him off. I've just watched a lot of these Zoom court proceedings, and most of the time they take him off. But this, and they definitely say something to him, but she doesn't do any of that. So it's kind of interesting. I don't know. Maybe she's new to the bench. Okay, this is getting interesting. This is about the time when he starts offering
for sentencing.
This all interference is caused by Mr. Lester.
June 14th,
and he's going to order some beers here. And the judge
that
doesn't do
will
anything.
be
It's
at
amazing. Anyway,
1
listen up.
p.m. I'm sorry. That will be at 9 a.m.
Look at Mr. Grego's expression, the attorney there.
So there's going to be a few things I want to ask you to do before returning for sentencing. The first is that you need to sign up for the victim's
and
impact
he knows
panel.
who it is. I mean, it's obvious.
Second, you need to contact
Wait
our
for it. Here it
screening and
comes.
assessment provider within 48 hours and make an appointment with them. And lastly, you need to go onto the 14A website and fill out the pre-sentence investigation form within 48 hours. Do you understand that, sir?
I do. Will I be getting any correspondence to for the list of these steps I need to take?
They were provided in the email that you received with the Zoom information.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I do have to set a bond in this case. Going to set a bond at personal bond $500. There's to be no use of drugs, alcohol, or marijuana. No leaving the state of Michigan without permission.
Thank you, Your Honor. Could I request, I do, my work has facilities out of state that I do frequently travel to.
Let me get one of them too. One of them with a wine BL.
Go ahead.
Can I request that I be able to
Did you get
leave
that?
the state for work purposes?
Look at the
You
attorney
may leave the
up there.
state for work
I
purposes.
mean, oh man, it's gonna get better. This is just the beginning, folks. This dude is priceless.
You're all set for today, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Your Honor.
All right, here
welcome.
comes our boy. Now listen,
Case number
he has disrupted this whole.
2400
I've cut a lot of this
State of
out,
Michigan
but
versus Derek
the
Lester.
background noise. There was nothing here,
Roman
but it's
for the
just
people.
amazing.
Mr. Lester, you need to remove your hat, please.
And Your Honor, I believe the Public Defender's Office is still listed as the attorney of record in this particular case with Mr. Lester.
He is.
I do
Yes,
recall,
you are.
yes, at our last hearing, and I have spoken to Mr. Lester in the interim. He had expressed at our last hearing that he was in the, he wished that he was going
I
to
spoke to
repeat.
somebody else anyway. I don't even know why you speaking. Somebody else called me yesterday from the public defender's office. It wasn't you, so I don't even know why you speaking.
Right.
Mr. Lester,
So, Mr.
Yeah.
Lester, this is
Mr.
a
Lester,
similar-
the court has appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You indicated that you were going to be retaining counsel.
All
Nobody,
right, I didn't do that. I didn't do
I
that. So we
understand.
can proceed with public defender.
okay,
that's what
so
we
that's
gonna
why
do.
Mr. Crago is talking, because he is your
Okay,
attorney.
I don't want Mr. Kringle though. So I'm gonna need someone else.
That
he
is
ain't
the
gonna work.
attorney that's assigned to your court. You don't get to pick and choose.
No.
We assigned you the Public Defender's Office, sir.
He won't work. He won't work. He won't bode well for the case. It was a miscommunication last time. That's why we never had a discussion. It will not work.
I'll make sure I look for Mr.
Not
Kringle,
using him.
Your Honor, but again, I'm happy
Mr.
to
Lester,
assist him.
we've appointed him as your counsel.
Well, go ahead, because I'm gonna file attorney grievance on him, and then I'm gonna see. It's looking like I'm gonna
Mr.
have to
Crago,
file
have you had an
an appeal
opportunity to
regarding this
speak
case.
with him
I'm not
yet?
talking to him.
I did, and before I think he realized it was me, Your Honor, he indicated to me that he wishes this matter to be set for a future pretrial, so he'll have the opportunity to review the police report, potential video that may be involved that will assist him in mounting a defense to this case.
He calls his attorney Mr. Kringle, Chris Kringle, Santa Claus, and the attorney says to the judge, "I'll tell Mr. Kringle." This is priceless, man.
Mr. Lester, do you want an opportunity to speak with Mr. Crago in the breakout room? You're muted, sir.
Too much wine and beer. This guy don't know what's going on.
You're muted, Mr. Lester.
He's not gonna work. Find somebody else. Ain't nothing to talk to him about. I'm exercising my Fifth Amendment right when it comes to him.
Mr. Are you going to be able to continue to represent him?
No, at this time, Your Honor, I believe the communication between myself and Mr. Lester is at an impasse. I will not be able to effectively represent Mr. Lester, and I believe he would be best served by one of my colleagues moving forward at the Public Defender's Office if he can still no longer afford to retain counsel and we stand in as the attorney of record.
So I am happy to appoint a different attorney for you, Mr. Lester, but that's it. You can't just keep firing attorneys.
But I, even whether if it's paid for or not, I do per law. I should be represented by proper counsel. He ain't
And I
proper
have
counsel for
appointed
me.
the Washtenaw County Public Defender's Office to you now twice. And both times you indicated you didn't want to work with those attorneys.
No,
So
this is the same individual from the last time. It ain't been two people. This is the same individual. It's not two people.
it
it's the
doesn't
same
sound like
person,
you had
same
an
attorney.
opportunity.
Okay, so
And
let's
Mr.
pull out
Lester
that
didn't
race
sound like
card.
you
Here it
even had an
comes.
opportunity to speak with him before you fired him.
Listen, We did have a discussion, and he chose to want to discuss things that didn't have nothing to do with the case. I'm 44 years old. I'm probably older than him. So he not finna talk to me because of my skin color as if I'm a child, because this is the norm that he has to deal with when he's dealing with other black men. You're not finna talk to me like that. I'm different.
Hold on.
Listen, I'm telling you,
I'm not going to have
we don't even have to have no
Mr. Trego,
discussion
do
because
you have
you're
a
not going to be
motion
my
for the
attorney
court?
anyway. What the
Mr.
fuck is we
Lester,
wasting
that's
time
enough.
about?
Okay, this is where shit just went off the rails. I mean, so he throws in the race card, right? And this attorney's been more than patient with this guy. I don't know, and you could hear the judge's voice, man. She's purely frustrated. I still can't fathom why she doesn't hold this guy in contempt. I mean, she's lost her composure a little bit too. You can tell in her voice. But here's the thing. Why isn't he being charged with contempt of court? Because that's what's happening. It's totally disrespectful to our courts. And I think this attorney just had enough of Mr. Lester. And this is where I got a little pissed off because, you know, he throws this race card out there. And the guy's been real patient with him. All he did in the previous video was, I guess, they went to a breakout room. I wasn't there. I didn't hear it. But I think he, before, and she's going to mention it here in a minute, he was naked on the video. And I think his attorney, he was his attorney at the time. He got appointed to be his attorney, his public defender. He just is trying to, you know, hip him to the game. You know, hey man, you know, this is how we handle ourselves in court. We don't come out of the shower naked and soap up and, you know, like Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lamb. You know, it puts lotion on its skin. I mean, this guy's rubbing body lotion all over himself. It was just totally inappropriate. And the guy did him a favor, and that's how he gets paid back. He throws the race card into it. I just had to say, I don't normally comment on these videos, but I thought that was worth mentioning. If you want to go back, look at my video. I think it was a couple videos ago. I think it should be titled, and I'll try to put a link here if I don't forget. All right, here we go.
Mr. Trego, do you have a motion for the court?
I do. I move at this time, for your honor, to release me from representing Mr. Lester. And in closing, I believe the communication has broken down to the point where it's irreparable. I've asked to be released from representing Mr. Lester moving forward on behalf of the Public Defender's Office. And in closing, I do not appreciate my reputation being impugned in this way on the record. At no point did I treat Mr. Lester with any form of disrespect based upon race, ethnicity, or any other characteristics. If the court does recall, it was due to conduct in terms of wearing hats and how one behaves in a Zoom court setting that I brought to his attention that would advise him that would be more advantageous moving forward to act in a way that is appropriate for a courtroom setting. And he took offense to that. I apologize if he was offended by my advice, but I stand by what I said at our last hearing. Moving forward, I asked to be removed from this case.
And I do actually believe this was something that I had mentioned to him because he wasn't wearing clothes when he appeared.
Correct. That is accurate, Your Honor.
Mr. Lester, do you have a pen and paper with you?
My opinion on this is this guy's just purely milking the system. He's trying to get them to. He's
Mr.
thinking
Lester,
that maybe
we
they'll
muted
forget
you
about his
again
case
because you weren't
and throw it out
talking
or something.
over
You know,
me.
he's just
Do you
manipulating
have
the
a
system. That's all
pen
it
and
is.
paper?
Buying more time.
I cannot hear you because you are muted again. Mr. Lester, do you have a pen and paper to write down your attorney's name? Do you have a pen and paper, sir?
I don't, because I'm in my vehicle. I'm not at home. Give me 1 second, because I might have one in my car. I have one.
His email, I can forward that to Tracy and she would call him.
Isn't it?
No, I'm just saying
Okay.
if he can't
Okay.
do it, she'll do it.
Well, she'll do it still, right?
Yes, she will.
Sir? Mr. Lester, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
The number, your attorney's name will be Christopher Shemke.
Mhm.
Phone number is 734
734
306
306
1742.
1742.
And you should get an email with his contact information as well, and we will let him know that you have been, that he has been appointed to your case. I'm going to adjourn this case to June 14th, 2022 at 10 a.m.
Okay.
Ms. Willenbring, are there any bond concerns?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Bond is continued. So you're all set, Mr. Lester. Make sure that you contact your other attorney before the next court date, okay?
I will.
Okay, you're all set for today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah,
Case
he's
number
taking this real serious. He just puts the tab back on. What a fucking
224-0007,
clown.
Michigan
You know,
versus Montana.
I'm going to try
Novak.
to, remind me.
Well,
I'm going to try to see what happens with the case here. I bet you he's going to get another.
Assistant Public Defender Brian J. Craig on behalf of
extension.
Mr. Montana
She's
Novak.
just too lenient on this asshole. Well, that's all I got,
So
guys.
Novak,
Howdy,
are you
howdy,
present on the
ho.
call?
Mr.
So please
Lester's
unmute
got to
yourself
go.
and state your name for the record,
What
please.
a jerk. And big
My name is
respect going
Montana
out to the
Novak.
public defender, man. You did a
Thank
great
you.
job.
Your Honor, today's
man.
date
You
and
did all you
time
could
set
for this
for a
guy.
pretrial in this matter. We're asking
Let
for
him
a
hang
short
himself,
adjournment
that's
so
what I
that
say.
my
All
client
right,
can
man.
continue.